Hey, it's Kyle, and today let's talk about why we should abolish the federal income tax and how it can teach people to be smarter with their money. Research has shown time and again that a penalty is more effective than a reward. That's why paying people not to buy cigarettes doesn't work compared to increasing taxes on each box of cigarettes. People are more sensitive to losing something than gaining something. So in order to help people become smarter about budgeting their money and spending less than what they take in, we have to utilize this behavioral economic principle. Plus, we also have to make it reasonable so that it's not only the rich who benefits from this plan. The idea of abolishing the income tax is nothing new. It's been around for decades. What's immoral about an income tax is that you're taxing someone's time and effort. Money, sure, people can make it up, but taxing someone's time is a sin against humanity. What do I mean? Time is something you can never get back. The average American works 44 hours a week and are taxed on average 30% on that time. That's 13 hours of your time going to taxes every week. That's almost an entire month of your life every single year going to taxes. So you can see that an income tax, a tax on labor, is inhumane. Imagine a construction worker or a nurse walking up and down all day, tending to their work, putting in blood, sweat, and tears, enduring risks, and all to give 30% of that effort towards taxes. In fact, you can replace the words construction worker and nurse with just about any job out there. But I talked enough about why an income tax is bad. This video is about replacing that income tax with something else. Like it or not, the federal government receives a majority of its revenue from income tax, about $1.7 trillion last year. But what if we can replace that? As like many of my other videos, these proposals require the government to spend less and stop wasting money so that when it comes to cutting taxes, it makes sense. Now, instead of an income tax, we should consider a flat sales tax instead. We already know this is a thing. 45 of our states plus Washington, D.C. have sales tax. But now we're including a federal sales tax to replace the federal income tax. In the first quarter of 2019, $14.2 trillion was spent within the US. That includes you buying something on Amazon to a tourist buying a hot dog at Times Square. And there comes the added benefit. Foreign tourists will contribute to our taxes, just like they do in states that have sales tax. That there gives Americans an additional $156 billion each year that can be taxed instead of our income. If we can rationalize that this $14 trillion can be duplicated for the rest of the year, we get roughly $56 trillion spent on US goods and services. Remember, $1.7 trillion came from income tax, and now that that's gone, we have to make it up with a federal sales tax. It would only take 3% federal sales tax to mimic what our existing income tax does. So for example, you go out to a fancy restaurant that ends up costing you $250, and that's before any local taxes are added. You'd only have to pay $7.50 in federal sales tax. That's a fraction of what you're going to pay as tip to your waiter. The holiday shopping season is also quite a treat. Last year, $850 billion was spent between November 1st and Christmas Eve. If a federal sales tax was in place at the proposed 3% rate, our federal government would collect $25.5 billion in revenue. And that's just shopping. It would be much more because we haven't included every single transaction. That means Happy Meals at McDonald's to your electric bill. Okay, now that we have an idea of what this looks like, how will all this help people become smarter with their money? A sales tax is in place to prevent people from spending too much. Without a federal income tax, more people will have more money in their pockets. But now that cost is transferred to a sales tax on everything, so naturally everything gets more expensive since people have more money. An income tax distorts money because it's something that is deducted or automatically taken out of your paycheck. You don't really have a choice of where that money should go. But when you see that things are more expensive due to the addition of a sales tax, you become more aware of what you're spending. And even little bumps in prices can sway people from making an impulsive or unnecessary purchase. And for those that think the rich will benefit from this, they won't. If you buy a car, let's say it costs about $30,000, the federal sales tax would be $900. But if a rich person buys a car, let's say it's a Lamborghini that costs about $400,000, the federal sales tax for them would be $12,000. So the feature of budgeting is built into this tax proposal. Whether you're rich or poor, there's a penalty for spending too much. Millions of Americans each year dig themselves into a hole by overspending and making bad decisions that affect their finances. This proposal will reduce their taxes and help us become smarter with our money. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, so leave a comment down below. Do you think a tax on labor is a good thing or immoral? Don't forget to like and share this video. Remember to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you stay up to date when new videos come out. And lastly, if you're interested on how you can fast track your savings, read The Minimalist Budget by Simeon and Lindstrom. I'll leave a link down below. Until next time, take care of your money.